Hello, traders and investors. It's Rod with Pow Group. Welcome back in the Pursuit of Wealth for a daily market recap. Today's a recap for Thursday, June 3rd. I hope you are well today. We're still going through a massive heat wave here today, so hopefully tomorrow it's supposed to cool back down again, but over 30 degrees here and it's super muggy. So before we jump into today's content, make sure to smash the like and subscribe to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be discussing as the main topic of the day, Mark Cuban is joining the XRP army and criticizing the SEC in his latest tweet. So we'll look at that article in just a second. Also going to do an in-depth analysis of the XRP technical analysis on the chart, and we'll look at what to expect and what the technicals are saying. But as we normally do, we'll run through some news and events on the day today, and then we'll look at some overall broader markets and some individual tickers. But before we jump into the XRP charts and the overall broader market, going to jump into some news and events. I'll put some timestamps in the description below as well. So this article from you today, billionaire Mark Cuban joins the XRP army in criticizing the SEC. So this was a recent tweet, and I'll just bring it up here for you real quickly. So he essentially said, watching CNBC, and the guest who used to work at the SEC has absolutely no understanding of crypto, says there is zero utility, only certainty is crypto will continue to positively impact business more than the SEC. I'm happy to educate on the applications we are developing. So the Shark Tank host has slammed former SEC attorney John Reed Stark for having absolutely no understanding of crypto. Cuban says that crypto will continue to positively impact businesses more than the regulator. Earlier today, Stark said that neither Bitcoin nor other crypto, for that matter, has any utility. The volatility is unbelievable, and also what a lot of people miss is that there is no utility in Bitcoin and any other crypto. The only reason why people own it is hoping it will go up because somebody else will buy it. That's just just a garbage statement in my opinion. It has absolutely no merit to it. The fact that Ripple and XRP is used by tons of banks, dozens of banks around the world. We know SBI in Japan, right? A huge bank is one of the main investors outside of the US in Ripple, and tons of whales. There's been tons of sharks saying that, when they go to send millions of dollars, they choose XRP because it's fast, it settles within 3 to 5 seconds. The fees are literally less, like a fraction of a penny. So basically no fees regardless of how much money you send. So the fact that what really wealthy people, and Mark Cuban is a billionaire, for example, and he's saying that it has utility. The fastest way for us to send money right now, if we want to send money, say we want to send $1 million to the other side of the world, well, the fastest way right now is to jump on a plane and just cart it there. So how does that not provide utility? The fact that I can send crypto to the other side of the world in a matter of seconds with XRP, or a matter of minutes or hours with Ethereum and Bitcoin, that dinosaur technology, for lack of a better word, but it's still way faster than the traditional banking system. So that's a huge problem that it's solving, and huge utility. Even Judge Sarah Netburn mentioned in the SEC versus Ripple case that utility, it seems that XRP has tons of utility. So just doesn't make any sense to me that a former SEC lawyer doesn't see utility, but a judge does, when a judge isn't looking at these types of instruments every day. It just doesn't make any sense. It makes you wonder if there's a bigger motive, ulterior motive or agenda at hand. So the speed at which Cuban has turned from skeptic into a crypto advocate is astonishing. In December, for instance, he himself claimed that bananas had more utility than Bitcoin because they have potassium. Now he has outlined a myriad of other use cases for crypto. So weather insurance, money transfer, again, huge problem to being solved right now is the global remittances and cross-border payments. And we know that Rosie Rios, the former 43rd Treasurer of the United States, her name is on about $1.4 trillion worth of US money and fiat currency. She just joined the board of Ripple, and she said that basically the most powerful woman in finance in the United States. She basically said that she joined the board of Ripple because she believes that XRP, the currency, and Ripple, the company, are the only real use case that crypto has, the real credible and legitimate use case, and that is because financial institutions are using XRP, the cryptocurrency, for cross-border payments. So just, if you don't think it has any utility, why don't they just call up all of the banks or all of the, the whales who are sending millions of dollars using XRP and ask them whether or not they get utility out of it. So provenance for digital files, also marketplace efficiency for digital content, personal banking. So as we know, Stellar and Jed McCaleb, so the Stellar Foundation and Visa have all partnered up with another company as well. I won't get into the details about it, but essentially I did a video on that. You can check it out. Just search Visa and Stellar. But essentially, Jed McCaleb was one of the co-founders of the XRP ledger, and he left because they had a falling out. He wanted to focus more on the retail or the at the personal level. So he wanted to bank the unbanked, and Ripple wanted to focus more on the commercial aspect and facilitating cross-border payments. So kind of two different directions there. But essentially what happened was Jed McCaleb went off to basically create a clone of the XRP ledger with a few tweaks. They also burned some of the coins in circulation. But take a look at this article here. So Stellar and Visa joined forces with fintech startup to bank the unbanked. So saying it right there in the article's title, that's what Jed McCaleb's goal was the entire time, was to bank the unbanked. And there's about over 1 billion people right now, I believe, that don't have access to a traditional bank account, who are not participating in the global financial system. So this would provide that financial inclusion to those that are less fortunate who just don't have the ability to do so given their current situation. Prediction markets, non-fractionalized banking, structured financial products, so derivatives, fractionalization of assets, gaming rewards, soon ticketing. You can see mortgages and bonds. It's just the tokenization and tokenomics of the entire world developing before our eyes. And pretty soon stocks will be on the blockchain. As we saw, we had multiple issues with stocks in the crash in March of 2020. So obviously blockchain is going to make that a lot more robust and reliable and secure. So the SEC has many critics. Cuban, of course, is not alone after critiquing the SEC because within the crypto space, because the XRP army has been at odds with the regulator for months following the agency's lawsuit against Ripple. The formidable community went to great lengths to fight the agency, from flooding the SEC's random tweets with resentful comments to staging a protest next to its headquarters in Washington, D.C. Some of its members are also trying to intervene in the Ripple lawsuit. Tesla CEO Elon Musk has been publicized spat with the government regulator, claiming that he did not respect in 2018 60 Minutes interview following a $20 million fine in securities fraud case. As we know, Elon Musk is not a fan of the SEC or the quote-unquote system. And I believe a helicopter is flying over me at the moment. Again, going through a heat wave here at the moment, and don't have any air conditioning, so just bear with me here as we get through this. But if I didn't have the window open, I'd probably be passing out on the floor right now. So moving on to some other news and events on the day before we jump into the charts. Weekly jobs claims come in at 385,000 versus 393 estimate. So I was actually showing here on investing.com 390 forecasted, but regardless, still beating those estimates and beat last reporting period at 405. So that's now the lowest on record since March of 2020. And 385 will be the level to beat next week. Russia to consider ditching dollar-denominated oil contracts if faced with more U.S. sanctions, and again, adding more pressure to the dollar as the global reserve currency. Toronto home prices hit all-time high at 1.1 million despite the sales slump. And AMC wild trading continues, and stock was down. It was up 20%, and then it was down 7%, and then it was up 30%. So AMC files to sell 11 million more shares of stock and immediately tanks afterwards, added some selling pressure to BlackBerry as well and some of our other highly targeted shorted names. But the S&P 500 was weak as well to begin the day. So all of that adding selling pressure. And this comes after AMC on Tuesday announced a sale of 8.5 million shares to Mudrick Capital, approximately $27.12 per share, worth about $230 million. But despite that sale, the stock continued to go higher as retail investors didn't seem to care and cheered it on. So massive, massive move. And just got to warn people that, if you're in a position now, that's great. But if you're looking to buy a position at these levels in AMC, again, can't tell you to buy, sell, or hold, but just be absolutely careful because we're likely due for a massive pullback here at some point in the near future. So taking a look at the crypto space, we are bouncing back. Everything's pretty much just going sideways for the most part after that morning rush here overnight. And we'll take a look at the XRP chart in detail. So we had that pennant that we broke bearish out of, and that came off the backdrop of Bitcoin crashing from 60,000 all the way down to 30,000, losing 50% of its value, and XRP down from 170, lost over 60%. And here we are, we changed the daily trend after we held this support line. So you can take a look at that red support line. We have not closed a candle below it since all the way back here at 42 cents in mid-March. So that is notable, and we held that on 2 attempts on this massive pullback over 60%. We had resistance at 107, which we got above. We hit 110, so we technically have a daily uptrend confirmed, but we'll want to see follow through from here. But our new higher low support is established at 79 cents, and after 79 cents we have 65 cents the low of this pullback. So daily uptrend has been confirmed, but we'll want to see follow through to remain confident, and the weekly bounce is underway at this point, and we have a lack of resistance, like I said, up till that 170. But we'll just draw out the fib retracement here and see it is a potential weekly bear flag. So we are looking pretty bear flaggy on a lot of names. But again, holding EMA 26 rather on this pullback. We dipped below it, but we closed above that moving average. And on the monthly, we back tested the EMA 12 on the monthly perfectly, and we held it. So just keeping an eye on that weekly candle and bear flag, whether or not we can continue to close over the EMA. So a close over weekly EMA 12 this week would be bullish, and that's at 101. And we'll take a look at the 10-week moving average as well. We have the 10-week moving average up at 117. So that could be an area. 120 is going to be an area of resistance to get over. The MACD and stochastic are still bearish and a long ways to go yet before we see a bull cross of those weekly indicators. But on the moving averages, the 50, the 100, and the 200 weekly moving average, we're still well above. The closest nearby is the 50 at 51 cents. On the daily moving averages, we're back above the 100-day moving average at 97 cents. So trying to hold 97. And look where we bounced off of perfectly as well, the 200-day moving average. On that pullback, not only did we test the monthly EMA 12 perfectly, but we back tested the 200-day moving average perfectly as well. And it had been quite a while since we had tested the 200-day moving average from all the way at the beginning of 2021, at the beginning of the year. Also, we're holding the 20 weekly moving average here, and we have not closed below it on this pullback. The weekly VWAP down at 57 cents yet to be tested as well. But again, if we can close the week over this level here, 82 cents, we're starting to see signs that we could potentially see a reversal. And we've seen that XRP shorts are basically at a record high at the moment, and we're holding support. We're holding steady above $1. So with shorts increasing, we're holding $1. We're holding the monthly EMA 12. We're holding the weekly EMA 26. This could be a base of support. And now that we have changed the daily trend back to an uptrend, that means that our weekly high or low is set. And now we have a lack of resistance up until 170. So if we do get a short squeeze going, we've got a lack of resistance. If we can get over 120, then we've got a lack of resistance up until about 170, and just absolutely ripe for a short squeeze, in my opinion. So moving on, taking a look at Bitcoin, and then we'll move on to the broader market. So Bitcoin has broken above EMA 12 on the daily time frame, which we have been rejecting at, and we haven't yet been able to close above it since this drop from 60,000. So we've got a little over 3 hours left, and that level to break is through $38,108. So if we can close over that level on the daily candle, that's going to be extremely important. And then we'll look to break the high here at 40,900. That would confirm a daily uptrend as well. And then at that point, likely heading to test EMA 26 there at 41,600. So again, watching for a close above EMA 12 on Bitcoin, and then a daily trend change attempt. So moving on to the broader market. SPY here closed at 418.77. We're up slightly, just a tiny bit after hours. And on the daily time frame, so we did see daily consolidation. I mentioned this in my video yesterday, that we had a daily inside bar and we were starting to see some red flags. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw daily consolidation tomorrow. Sure enough, we opened, I think, at 417. Let's take a look at the open. Open was 417.85, and we got as low as 416.28. So tested EMA 26. We held it at 415.94. So at this point, it's still a potential daily bull flag. I wouldn't completely rule that out. And if we were to confirm this daily bull flag, that would be bringing us to about the 430 area. And that would mean we would be into new highs and all-time high territory. But at this point, holding the EMAs, and we knew to be expecting this, right? It was 7 days in a row, 9 days in a row without a high or low, and we had a lack of support down to 405. So this is just healthy consolidation, in my opinion. And just taking a look at the hourly chart. So on the hourly, we did confirm an hourly downtrend. So we're going to want to confirm an hourly uptrend ASAP to be confident that our daily high or low is set. The dollar was bouncing and showing some strength today. So while Bitcoin is working on a daily trend change, XRP confirmed a daily uptrend, and SPY's daily consolidation, I said yesterday to be on the lookout for a potential daily trend change on the dollar that could give us clues that SPY could see daily consolidation and weakness. So sure enough, we held the support here at 89.53. We had resistance at 90.44. So we had the higher low and a higher high here at 90.55. So we technically confirmed an uptrend on the dollar, which means that we could see more weakness in the overall broader market as money starts to rotate out of assets into the dollar. IWM was weak today, down 0.84%, but held EMA 12 and nice lower wick there to end the day. QQQ was weak today, down over 1%, and not surprising that we saw more of a pullback in SMH and QQQ as they have been leading the charge, and we had a lack of support on the daily time frame. US oil broke out to a new higher high today, but pulling back within yesterday's range, and again, still no higher low, or still no break of that higher low pattern. So we're on day 9 of a higher low every single candle. I guess we had a mini higher low here at 65.27, which ended up being a daily bull flag, but not a clear level of support. I guess you could say 65.27, 65 psychological. After that, we're looking down to 61.58 on the daily time frame. So the metals were weak today, especially silver losing EMA 26. Gold has yet to test it. Again, we've been saying on this channel for a while now that we're extremely bullish on gold, more so than silver at the moment based on the charts. And gold today, again, holding EMA 26, and silver trying to close over EMA 26 at this point with about 12 minutes. That would be at least a save in my opinion. But gold, I said yesterday that I was expecting, it's been a while since we saw any real consolidation. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw a pullback to around 1850. And then sure enough, today we pulled back to 1865. And on the weekly time frame, again, we have no real weekly support down to 1676. So at this point, it's a weekly bull flag. And we'll want to see an uptick in bear volume if bears have anything to prove. So wrapping up, XBI biotech sector, daily consolidation today, but still in a daily uptrend. One of our stronger sectors, XLE, one of our stronger sectors as well. So just basically mirroring the oil chart, very, very similar. Getting over resistance, and again, a lack of support down here to 51. XLF, financial sector, set a new all-time high today. And did we hold the low of yesterday? We broke it by about 3 pennies, so not much follow through. But we're a possible daily bull flag at this point. XLV continues its weakness, but tried to bounce today. It looks like we had a high of 121.99 to break. We broke it by 3 pennies. So again, now it's a possible daily bear flag. If we don't get much of a bounce here, and an EMA 12 and 26 bear cross as well. Lack of support on the daily as well, down to 116 from here. So healthcare sector definitely needs some help. So taking a look at some individual tickers on the day, AMC closed down almost 18% at the close, sitting at 51. And as I mentioned yesterday, daily inside bar was most likely the scenario to be watching for, and we could even see another daily inside bar tomorrow given the size of this range. But today, just what I said happened, right? I said we could pull back 40% and still not even be in daily consolidation. And look, we opened here, and what happened? We pulled back 35% and didn't lose the low. So we literally gave you the playbook yesterday with a tons of heads up that if you would have sold at the open, you would have been able to reload about 30% cheaper. GME, NKLA, and Dash led the decline today. DDD held $30 at the close, but down 6.5%. On the bull list, we had MVMD, VEGA, and BlackBerry. BlackBerry was another name that I mentioned yesterday that we could potentially see a gap up. And, you know, I was extremely bullish on BlackBerry. My video had over 3.5 thousand views. So I remember posting in the group late last night saying, you know, I wasn't 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure we're going up on BlackBerry based on the amount of, you know, just coverage and bullishness and just the amount of retail that were interested in the stock. But I said to be watching out as we had a lack of hourly support. And with the weakness in AMC, it ended up, and the weakness in the S&P 500 to begin the day as well, we got to just over $20 psychological and had no support all the way down to $9.94. So no hourly support. We could have dropped from there 50% and still just be looking for an hourly high or low in an hourly uptrend. So we pulled back to EMA 12. I mentioned in the group last night I could see a pullback to 14 or maybe even $12. Mentioned that we also had a gap there at 11.61. And sure enough, we pulled back, held the EMA 12, failed to close below it, and we got as low as 13.56 after running to $20 psychological. MVMD, another name that we're extremely bullish on in our group. So I added to this position. I think I added around 39 cents, just adding to that long-term no touch. But if we look at the low here, I know quite a few people in our group as well got it at 35 cents yesterday. And if you look from the low of 35, it was up about 27% today. So once again, congrats to the bulls. Decent amount of volume there as well. And Tesla got a hit on the chin today. Basically, some results in, some numbers in from China sales being down a lot more than expected. We got as high as EMA 12, pulled back, and daily consolidation in a big way. We're coming up on support at 546. After that, it's 539, and the big one at 500 psychological. All right, going to end it there. We'll see you a little bit later on for an MJ sector review. Thanks for joining us on The Pursuit of Wealth, and we'll see you again a little bit later on today. Take care, everyone.